everybody, welcome to the Comic and Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I have to finally admit something. Now, while I still contest that Phase 4 has been good. Phase 4 has been good. Sorry, got Powerade in the background, just for my throat, still dealing with some stuff. So I might have to hit this every once in a while, just in case my throat starts getting a little dry. But Phase 4, to me, has been experimental. It has been unique. It's been the most experimental and the most unique out of all of the phases. There has been things from wushu films to a show dealing with grief by doing it through sitcom shows, to a show dealing with time travel and the existential crisis of what it is to be alive and have your life written out to you and like what that means. It's been a show about redemptions. There's been a show about a man dealing with mental illness, and then right now Ms. Marvel with being a Pakistani girl. You know, there's been a lot. They have dealt with, and you know, Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness being this straight up Sam Raimi old school Evil Dead horror movie almost. And then you have like the Eternals. That's almost this art film that just happens to have a big budget. This phase has been very out there. Like, the safest thing they've done was Black Widow, which still, to a certain extent, while they didn't go all the way with it, had a lot of allegories to sex trafficking. So, you know, dealing with racism and patriotism, and like they have really pushed it in terms of the subject matter. And in terms of how they approach subject matter, every single movie and project and show has been unique and different. Even What If, there is no show that looks like What If, and the concept itself, although borrowed from the comics, is still a unique idea. All that being said, I do think, particularly with Ms. Marvel's Episode 5, which I'll put having a review up that may come up a little later, may come up next tomorrow, but, you know, I'll be having a review for that. But particularly with that episode, it really highlighted something that I have kind of been in denial about. Not denial, but it was just like, it never really struck me until this episode. And to be fair, this feeling did strike me too in same episode, Episode 5 of Moon Knight. And Episode 5 of Hawkeye. Which is, these shows probably need to be longer. Not a lot longer, just like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. That's about it. Maybe 2 or 3 episodes longer. 8 or 9 episodes. Because it's becoming abundantly clear that honestly, outside of Loki, because Loki like had its conclusion and it all added up, WandaVision, outside of Loki and WandaVision, every other show has left a lot of shit on the plate to be wrapped up in a single episode. And while I think that some shows have done better than others at wrapping it up, which I'm not on the bandwagon that like Marvel, like these finales are terrible, or these finales have dropped the ball. I never refer to it as that. If you've looked at any of my reviews of any or all the Disney Plus Marvel shows finales, I say that they all, in my opinion, get across what they need to, the key stuff. Like, the absolute key stuff is across. Now, the other shit that they set up, that you know, things that you may have you want answers to that you don't get, they're not important to the key stuff. Like, Falcon and Winter Soldier, at the end of the day, was about Bucky moving past his PTSD in the Winter Soldier, and Falcon coming to a place where he can accept the mantle of Captain America. Any other thing that's left on the table is kind of background. Same thing with the WandaVision. It was all about Wanda dealing with her grief. And, you know, by the time it ended up getting to the end, it was like, you know, she had fell right back into the hole. But, you know, that was the show. Like, I feel like every single one of these Disney Plus shows, at the very least, gets the core message, the core character across the line that they set out to cross. Now, it may leave things to be desired, but they do get it across. But in my mind, these shows, they don't even need to leave less to be desired. Like, there's no reason that these shows can't be perfect. And, you know, it dawned on me just sitting here thinking about Moon Knight, and I was like, you know, Moon Knight should have been about 8 episodes. Because there probably should have been an episode, at least one episode dedicated to Arthur Harrow, you know, Ethan Hawke's character, and showing his past and how he got with Ahmed, and like seeing how all that went down. And the entire episode should have been dedicated to the Flash, to the looking into Mark Spector's past. And you realize, like, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and I'm just like, there's no reason, the reason why it can't be. And I understand, and like some people don't understand why the MCU makes these episodes 6, why there are just 6 episodes. One, it's because this is the MCU's first foray into this world. They've never done this before. And the budgets, and so Kevin Feige have only made movies. So Kevin Feige has approached these shows like movies. They gave them the appropriate budget. A budget that would typically be good for a movie. $150 to $175 million. The problem is that's not 170. The problem is, I have to agree with John Campea, who has pointed this out many times before, and I just kind of went, well, I mean, I don't know. Because for every sequence that, like the opening scene in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that was a straight up movie scene. There are multiple scenes like that in Loki. There are scenes like some of the CGI, particularly on Miss Marvel's powers, look movie quality. There are sequences like that all throughout the Disney Plus shows. The problem is that you have to stretch that over multiple episodes. And the vibe I've always gotten is that Marvel has made these shows 6 hours to maximize 6 episodes, and they've made them short episodes to maximize the budget. It's the reason the episodes aren't longer than an hour. It's the reason there's only 6 of them, because Feige and maybe the brain trust at the Marvel Studios feel like that if they made it longer and made the episodes longer, that budget would scratch and scratch and scratch and scratch, and it won't look good anymore. Which is true. It would end up looking like something from ABC. Which basically means is that they need more money. They need more money. Either that, or they just have to do, just do shows about characters who don't need as big of a budget. Like, Hawkeye doesn't need as big of a budget. Like, Hawkeye should be able, like, you should be able to stretch that Hawkeye budget out. Like, there is no reason why we couldn't have gotten flashbacks more into Hawkeye's past, more into what he was doing. There's no reason we shouldn't have gotten more about Kate's mom, more on the Kingpin. Because because you could have stretched the budget out for that. And, like, so either they need to start doing shows about characters who don't need as big of budgets to, make a movie about them. So that means you probably shouldn't make, Loki was a success, and Loki did a pretty good job. Like I said, I think Loki did a pretty good job wrapping up what it wanted to wrap up. So outside of Loki, maybe Miss Marvel needs to be a movie. Maybe when you want to do, Falcon and the Winter Soldier should not come back. It should just be a show. A movie. Next time you do Moon Knight, maybe it should be a movie. And I just feel like, if that's the reason, scratching the budget, then it's just not going to work. But also, I think that Kevin Feige's approach, while it sounds awesome on the surface, because I remember when Disney, when they were coming out with these shows, like, the idea is we have the same crew who worked on our movies working on these shows. We're approaching it like a movie. We got the same, things. We're shooting it like a movie. The problem is these are not movies. So when you watch these shows, like I said, I am subjective. I love the MCU. I'm enjoying Phase 4. But I have to be subjective here. Approaching, haven't watched years of television, and haven't seen so many great superhero shows. And haven't seen so many great superhero shows in particular. It's becoming abundantly clear to me that, that the MCU's approach to making TV shows is not meshing well with the idea that these are movies, because there's a difference between making a small little miniseries, like a 3-hour or 3-part miniseries. That you can do it like that, because it's literally 3 parts. You can just do it like it's a long movie. But when you make a show that you're kind of shooting like you're making a small miniseries, like that little 3-parter, it's simultaneously moving too fast, and there's not enough happening, and it leaves the last episode to set up so much because you have no time to do anything. Because in a movie, you have to kind of move. You have to write it in a way in which you kind of move, because there's just no time. Like, for the most part, for the most part, unless depending on the length you make it, how you write it, most of the time you kind of have to write it to snap, because you don't got time to sit around all day and linger on stuff in a movie. And in the MCU in particular, that's how they operate. That's how they've made their best movies. It's like, just go. We don't got time to linger. We might linger on something the hero's thinking about or his companion's thinking about, but we're move. Whereas what a show gives you, like, that's the thing. I don't think that the MCU is taking full advantage of the opportunity that they have here. There is no reason, there's no reason that we couldn't have got a lot more on Agatha Harkness. There's no reason that we couldn't have got a lot more on Arthur Harrow. There's no reason that we couldn't have gotten a lot more on Kate Bishop's mom in The Kingpin. Like, they're not taking full advantage of this opportunity of long-form storytelling, because they're telling these long stories. They're telling these short stories in long form. They're still filming these and writing these like movies, which is why it feels like things are left on the board. Which is why it feels like things are rushed and things are left on the board, because they're still filming these shows like movies. And I don't know, maybe Kevin Feige should bring in a TV guy to take the reins for the TV stuff from him. Because I don't know, because his approach, while I'm enjoying the shows, has admittedly left something to be desired. Like, there is no reason. No reason at all. Loki, there's no reason that, all these shows can't even be better. Moon Knight was supposed to be, while I still thought Moon Knight was great, I thought Moon Knight was supposed to be that perennial fucking show. It was supposed to be, the way it felt, it was like, this show is gonna be the show that gets people to take Marvel, super serious. But like the other shows, by the time the 5th episode came, they had to kind of rush along. And I just feel like if it had 2 more episodes, just make it to that. And there's like I said, maybe it's because this is what they ordered this amount of episodes, so they have to do this amount of episodes because that's what they ordered. But I don't know. I think Feige needs to reevaluate his approach to making these shows. He needs to start thinking of these as shows, not movies. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Sorry. Please like, subscribe. I just said that. I will see you guys on the next one. And what do you think? Should Feige reevaluate his approach to these Disney Plus shows? Or is it as simple as give these shows a bigger budget so that he can do more with it? Because to me, that's probably the actual real reason why these shows are so short, why these episodes are so short, why the seasons are so short. Is because Kevin Feige doesn't want to pay for this shit. It's because the budget, the show would look shitty stretched over 9 episodes. Anyways, thank you guys again. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.